There are a lot of important things in Formula 1. A good driver is crucially important because they could win you a championship.
But the championship can only be won by one, and it's going Dutch in 2021. Max Verstappen, for the first time ever, is champion of the world.
And let's be real, a bad driver wouldn't be able to do that, would they?
Oh dear.
Having a good car is important, being in a good team is important, because I don't think you'd be able to win a championship, even a race, or even stand on the podium in a Haas. You kind of need to be in a good team. But still, on occasions, a good team still might not provide you with a championship. Rumor has it Ferrari has been sleeping ever since 2007, and they're still pretty much dead. But with all of that out of the way, today we're going to be looking at how bad, or potentially how good, every single teammate in Formula 1 is. Whether they are, ooh, you want that person as a teammate, or stay far, far, far away. If I talk any more, then I might spoil the video and what's about to come up, so I'm just going to mute and enjoy. Seems like there's a championship battle brewing up. Mercedes might be joining the scrap, Red Bull not looking too hot, and Ferrari and McLaren potentially might be cooking. If you want to see a championship battle happen, then you should probably like and subscribe. Otherwise, I'm telling you, it will not happen. Oh, you think I'm joking? Try me. Will rather yeet himself into the Monaco harbour than see you score points. That is the first category of many categories that we have of Formula 1 teammates, and I genuinely think there's only one man, or one man only, who can even fathom to be in this category on the current grid. Back in the day, tons and tons and tons, but now, really only one. Oh, and speaking of Monaco, that race didn't go too well for you, did it?
Now, if I were in my car, I'd look at that space and go, well, that's too small. And then I'd go find another. But that's not what a French person would do.
By that short little snippet that we've all seen like 1,000 times, but I still think it's really funny, so I'm gonna milk the f out of it because it's funny. Esteban Ocon might be the single worst teammate ever to grace the Formula 1 grid. Probably not, but at the moment he is god off. Nobody wants him on your team. You don't want him as a teammate. He will either crash into you if you're about to score points. He doesn't want to give up positions if, like, you're in fresher tires and you could attack the person in front of you. And, well, he will send dive bombs on you and try to murder your race if things aren't going his way. As we've seen in Monaco, as we've seen multiple times with Pierre Gasly over the last 2 years. Don't even get me started on the Alonso days, because Alonso, well, Esteban Ocon made him leave that team. And to Sergio Perez days, I swear they were in the wall or bashing wheels or hitting each other every other race. Singapore comes to mind, Belgium comes to mind, so many more. Hungary as well. Oh, my days. I'm honestly not surprised that he's been booted out of Alpine, and does any other team want him? I'm hearing zero rumors about Mike Brody going to another team. I don't think that's going to happen because, well, it's Esteban Ocon at the end of the day. Might be a race winner, but what a nice way to repay Fernando Alonso than to, well, bully him every single weekend. Clown. He's a clown. He will commit war crimes for you. Now, in Formula 1, there is defending, which we've seen a lot of from Sergio Perez in 2021. Absolute masterclass. It looks beautiful, it's perfect, it's lovely. But then there is defending. There is, like, the exaggeration of defending. It's no longer defending, it's just, oh, you want to go into the wall? No, you don't, but you're going into the wall either way. And that is the definition of Kevin Magnussen this year. Committing war crimes for his teammates, pretty much not being a Formula 1 car, but being a brick wall, not letting anyone past and letting his teammates secure as many points as possible. This year, he has single-handedly ruined Logan Sargent's race in Miami. He has single-handedly ruined also Lewis Hamilton's sprint race in Miami. Ruined Albon's race in Jeddah, and so on and so forth. Whether it be literally bashing them into the wall or taking out their front wing. Driving them off the track with a nice little dive bomb and nearly clarting them into the wall. It's just like, that's a good teammate that you want on your team, but it's a person on the field that you don't want to verse in like a 1v1. You don't want to try to overtake them. You're scared when they're behind you trying to overtake you. I think most of the time, if you're the car in front, you're more looking at your mirrors than the actual tarmac on the track or the apexes or what's not. You're more scared of the person behind you than, say, you going 200 miles an hour straight into a brick wall. The person behind you, which being Kevin Magnussen, that is more of a threat because you genuinely have no idea what's going to happen. It's like rolling a dice. You might get a 1, you might get a 6. And you know for sure that you're gonna probably die or, you know, get crashed out. What the fuck? But with that said, Kevin Magnussen is a W teammate for Haas this year. Entertaining to watch. Everything about him is insanity. Great teammate. Pretty much the polar opposite of Esteban Ocon. On one hand, Esteban Ocon won't do anything for you. He will rather murder himself. And then you have Kevin Magnussen, who will literally do anything. He will set off a nuke on like a part of the track to make sure that, hey, that driver can't get past. Nico Hülkenberg can just steam on through. But the only reason why Magnussen is doing that is because he's not on the same skill level or pace as Nico Hülkenberg. Might have been faster than Mick Schumacher, but I don't think that single pole position will carry him any further. It might be over, but W teammate will be too far ahead of you or behind you to cause any issues whatsoever. Now, for the first time in this video, we're going to have more than one driver in a category. In this category, there's going to be Max Verstappen, who, for one, is going to be too far up the road, and he's just, like, on a different planet of skill level. Like, he's up here, and, you know, usually your teammates should be pretty similar, maybe a bit higher, maybe a bit lower. But Sergio Perez's skill level is as low as a Looney Tunes character's mouth when they're shocked. Like, you know, when it just goes straight to the ground, it's like, oh my god, no way, that just... Yeah, I mean, that is Sergio Perez at the bottom. In the entire time that Max Verstappen and Sergio Perez have been teammates, I only remember one instance where there was like, Sergio Perez, you know, let him pass. And it wasn't because he was faster than Max Verstappen, it was just like a courteous thing. Sao Paulo 2022, where Mercedes actually were good for a weekend, George Russell managed to win.
Come on, team! And it's come on! 1, 2, unbelievable! Come on! These are just the beginning, guys. Just the beginning.
Stop the cap.
Verstappen's race engineer asks for Sergio Perez, you know, to go by, and Verstappen was like, no, that is not happening. No, no, no. I don't know who you think you are. We've discussed this. That is not happening. And that was literally one time that I remember that ever team radio happening to Max. Now, keep in mind, my memory is like a goldfish, but I guarantee you that Sergio Perez will never be as close to Verstappen, or well, even if Verstappen has an issue, he won't let him past. Because still, if Max Verstappen is missing a front wing, missing a rear wing, missing even the entire chassis of the car, somehow he will still manage to be faster than Sergio Perez on the track. Sergio Perez will be that far behind in the times where Max Verstappen is winning every single race.
Oh, shit. Here we go again.
Max Verstappen wins for Max Verstappen. Max Verstappen. Max Verstappen. Max Verstappen. Max Verstappen. Max Verstappen. Max Verstappen.
The Dutch anthem is literally playing in your head rent-free. He is qualifying P1, finishing P1. Sergio Perez struggling to even make it out of Q1. So you could say Sergio Perez is a W teammate for Max Verstappen because he doesn't really get in his way. Whilst Max Verstappen is driving, all he sees is the road clear, no one in front of him. But then you have Sergio Perez, who has pretty much studied the rear of, say, the Haas, the Alpine, the Williams. He knows what that car looks like from back off by heart, because most of the time he's even further back than they are. Don't know how that's possible, somehow manages to do it. Lance Stroll is another driver that is making this category appearance. Hooray, Lance Stroll, you made an appearance, yay. But if you think in your right mind that Lance Stroll, the driver that he is, a driver that crashes out pretty often.
Hi, I'm Lance Stroll.
If you think he is even on the same skill caliber or level as Fernando Alonso, a two-time world champion who has literally celebrated the races that he's won like an absolute champ. But then this is also Alonso. And Lance Stroll has won 0 races, been in the sport since 2017, and really he is, for that being in the sport for that long, he is damn awful. Let's be real, even if Alonso would have been on, say, old hard tyres and Lance Stroll on fresh softs, there is still no way that Lance Stroll would be able to get past Fernando Alonso. Now, I mean by, like, on-track skill pace and, well, team radio. Alonso wouldn't let him past, and, well, Lance Stroll would be too far back to go past. Through all of the bad things that Lance Stroll is, bad driver, bad wheel-to-wheel racer, bad a lot of things, I guess you could say that he isn't a bad teammate because, well, he doesn't even compete with you. But the times he is close to teammates, it gets a little hairy. Bahrain 2023, brings some memories back for Alonso. Raging on the radio the entire race, suspicious.
Don't be suspicious, don't be suspicious, don't be suspicious.
Sargent has to make an appearance in this category. In a time that Alex Albon is literally fragging out every single race, potentially scoring points, and even on occasion scoring points in a pretty trash can of a car that is the Williams. Logan Sargent is either that far behind Alex Albon that he's literally not a threat whatsoever. Canada was the first time where, oh my god, he actually might be a threat. But then he gets knocked out of Q2, and then he crashes in the race twice. Now, I'm going to be honest, I could have made another category because this category is too far ahead of your teammate or too far behind. I think there should have been another category of not in the race, not a threat whatsoever because they're not in the race. But that would be just doing too much. But I'm not even wrong. Most of the time, Logan Sargent isn't even in the race. If he's that far behind Alex Albon, he might as well just bin it into the wall, call it a day, DNF, kind of save him the troubles of what's the point of racing 50 more laps if you're in P20? There is no point. Bin it into the wall. You can go home, have an early supper, early finish of the day. But on the teammate threat level, Logan Sargent might be literally at the very bottom, potentially equaling with Sergio Perez. Both awful. Too busy fighting their engineers on the radio to even glance or have a thought or have a think about fighting you. There have been many, many important battles in cinema history. Obi versus Anakin, Harry Potter versus Voldemort, James Bond versus Spectre, James Bond versus Dr. No, James Bond versus someone. You know what? There have been so many battles that, you know, you probably can't even think of any. But some of the most important battles in Formula 1 don't happen on track, they happen over the radio. And one of those drivers that can't control themselves from fighting on the radio, well, it has to be Charles Leclerc. Now, one of the reasons is that most of the people in Ferrari are clowns, and the drivers are just left there to pretty much control the race on their own. Say to their team, oh, I think we should go out on intermediate, it's raining. But no, Ferrari will probably put you on slicks. The amount of times that Charles Leclerc was fighting with his old race engineer, and now even his new race engineer around Canada, that was something different. Oh, we're losing a lot of time down the straights. Charles Leclerc saying, oh, I don't want that as an answer. Tell me how much we're losing. 5/10. But then after the race, Charles Leclerc says that they're losing a second and a half down the straight. It's all a mess on those Ferrari radios, especially with Charles Leclerc. Monaco springs to mind 2022. So many instances that Charles Leclerc doesn't even consider thinking about his teammate. He's just solely thinking of his own race strategy, how he can improve it, because the Ferraris are going to be Ferraris, going to be acting like clowns.
Stay out, stay out, stay out.
With that said, Charles Leclerc, W teammate, doesn't even pay any attention to you, only paying attention to the amount of bullshit that is coming out of his race engineer's fat gob, because most of the time it's wrong, incorrect, or they're trying to grief their own race. And another driver that can perfectly slot into this category has to be Lewis Hamilton. Lewis Hamilton seems like such a fluffy teddy bear off track. Oh, thank you to the people back at the factory. Literally every single second he is saying that. Seems like he loves his team, loves everybody around him, you know. But the second he straps himself into that car and he's talking to Bono over the radio, they are either having a mother's meeting or they are just going for full scrap on Muhammad Ali versus Mike Tyson battles. And most of the time, it's not just Hamilton being angry. Most of the time, it's Hamilton complaining. Oh, the car's too slow. Oh, get on with it. No one cares about your opinion. Just drive the car. That's what you're paid to do. Whether it's be complaining that the team have put you on the correct strategy around Monaco, yes, and what you're driving an odd 50 laps on the same tire, and Max Verstappen is attacking you like an absolute madman, trying to dive bomb you through there. Not sure that's a good idea. After all, Max Verstappen has tried dive bombs in other places around Monaco, and it hasn't gone too well. So I understand why Hamilton was maybe a tad scared. But there's not a single race where Lewis Hamilton doesn't have a Glock strapped to himself whilst driving the car, just in case that engineer of Bono annoys him a tad too much. And then poom poom. I know you know what I'm on about. Lewis Hamilton is just the yapper on the radio. Can't simmer down. Too much complaining, too much arguing. Be quiet. Now you might be wondering, why isn't Max Verstappen on this list? After all, him and GP are literally fighting all of the time. But I think Verstappen suits the category of being too far ahead of anyone to do anything. It's just, and what you fight with your engineer. You're winning everything. Get over it. They will help you in a pinch, as long as you know your place. Alonso will definitely help you out. Help the team out. You know, the team is the most important thing to him, probably, except for the Drivers' Championship, because that's really what he's aiming for. But when worst comes to worst, everyone in the team is in a slight sticky situation. He will help you out, definitely. Whether that be defending against prime Lewis Hamilton for 10 laps around Hungary just to let your teammate win, that is a good teammate. He helps you out, but after that race, you know your place. You know that you're not better than me just because I helped you get a win. I single-handedly, literally gift-wrapped you that win. I just know your place, little bro. We all know Fernando Alonso is being that L-plan human being, and the only place that Esteban Ocon is currently going is, well, either retirement or unemployment because no team wants you. George Russell passionately thinks that he's better than Lewis Hamilton at driving, at qualifying, at everything, but stats do say everything. Lewis Hamilton on one hand is a 7-time world champion, 103 wins, and can actually win races in critical situations. But it seems like every time that George Russell has the opportunity to win a race, he fumbles it, whether it be Singapore crashing into the wall. George Russell will help you, but when shit gets real, when it's the battle for the podium, when it's a 1v1 Hamilton versus Russell for the podium, P3 round Canada, he won't have any mercy. He will either ram you off the track, ram himself into the wall, or, you know, just get past you. No mercy whatsoever. He'll do whatever it takes. Maybe that might be a slightly bad teammate. But hey, if they're out of the points and they want to scrap a point, then obviously he is going to help out somehow. Pierre Gasly is another driver that will help out when shit gets real, but when, you know, shit hits the fan, that's when he'll put his foot down. No, I want to win. No, I want to score this podium. That's all me. I'm better than my teammate. You know, that's just it. I have 3 more tenths if I get by. Now, drivers in this category think they are so much better than their teammates. If they get past, they will be flying and flying and flying. Their teammates in front of them, they are the main distractions. They are the issue of the team. Now, with some drivers, that is maybe potentially the case, but with others, it just really isn't. Lando Norris and Yuki Tsunoda, fair enough. Those two are probably faster than their teammates this year, last year, and so on and so forth. Lando Norris, well, has been faster than most of his teammates in Formula 1, maybe potentially except Carlos Sainz at the time, but Daniel Ricciardo, my guy, was absolutely slaughtering him every single race. Lando Norris scoring podiums, and then you got Daniel Ricciardo crashing and scoring a win, but that was a one-off occasion. And Yuki Tsunoda single-handedly ended Nick de Vries's career, and at the moment is ending Daniel Ricciardo's career. Do with that information what you will. Yuki Tsunoda is, well, probably 3/10 faster, and will be saying that on the radio. Not saying it like a normal human being like Lando Norris will. Lando Norris might have like a slight little, but I'm 3/10 far. You know what? Yuki Tsunoda will be screaming at the top of his lungs, I am you know, I'm not gonna save your ears, but the decibels would be reaching around 1 million. Higher than, let's say, AC/DC playing in New York. Definitely louder than any O2 performance that there's. Louder than Glasto, louder than... But you see, on the other hand, just like the yin and yang, the good and the bad, some drivers say this on the radio, but aren't faster than their teammates most of the time. Carlos Sainz, I've heard this guy say this 1,000 times over the radio. Faster than Charles Leclerc, faster than Charles Leclerc. Well, guess what? If you were faster than Charles Leclerc, you wouldn't be getting dropped. And Sergio Perez, back in his heyday, has also said this a lot of times. Now he hasn't said this as much when Max Verstappen has been his teammate, because, well, it's kind of clear and obvious that Max Verstappen will literally sit on you and flatten you into the ground. After you've dealt with Max Verstappen, you won't be looking like a normal puffed up human being, built as fuck. You'll be looking like Flat Stanley, thinner than an A4 piece of paper. All four of them are alright teammates, but they will get a tad rowdy if they're not ahead. By the team's choice, because if they're behind because of their own issues, well, that is their own problem. And at the moment, it is Sergio Perez's and Carlos Sainz's problem. Copy, James. And last but not least, we have the most respectable teammates on the entire grid. These are the teammates that will literally do anything for you. They won't go to the extreme lengths that Kevin Magnussen say does, but they will do a lot. These drivers put the team before everything. They don't care about themselves. It's just the team, the team, the team, the team, the team. Let the team do the best thing that they can. On some occasions, their emotions might get the better of them, whether it be Valtteri Bottas and his comments towards everybody.
To whom it may concern you.
And Daniel Ricciardo showing the world that, in fact, nope, he didn't leave.
And for anyone who thought I left, I never left.
Oh no, he definitely left. And he's left once again. But Bottas, Albon, Piastri, Hülkenberg, Ricciardo and Zhou, all of them, they respectful. They will literally do everything. They'll say copy if you need to let someone pass. Copy, they can be passed. If you need to defend for 15 laps against someone like you've never done that before, you can do that. If you need to spend the whole entire race on hard tires like Alex Albon did, 2022 Australia, he will do that. Copy, nothing else will be said. Unlike Lewis Hamilton, who had to spend an odd 50 laps on those hard tires. Yeah, that was a lot of screaming on the radio. Alex Albon, nothing. These are the people that everybody in Formula 1 should aspire to be. Not creating problems, but solving the problems. Being kind to everyone. But the only similarity of these teammates is that none of them have won a championship. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you have anything to say down in the comments, put it down in the comments. If you don't agree with anything, put it down in the comments. If you think that there should be other categories, put it down in the comments. Whilst you're there, you might as well like and subscribe. Don't know why you wouldn't. And have a safe and fantastic rest of your day. Don't die, because then you can't watch the videos, and then I'll be sad, and everyone else will be sad, and then the world will end. Anyway, don't die and peace.
That's all, folks.